So breathing gratitude through the heart for all that you can bring forward with that gratitude understanding. Notice where you place your hands, using various mudras. It doesn't matter what finger you touch with the thumb, but you're always working with a mudra. And it's always energetic, and you may not even know what you're doing, but you still are truthfully connecting the meridians in whatever shape those hands are taking. And the nadis, the meridians and nadis are really the same thing. Ayurvedic and the nadis and the meridians are the Chinese system. Notice what gratitude looks like, feels like, and then remember to send it to all of your cells. And continually going back to that each of your cells is like a little you. And you want to also, particularly light up the mitochondria, which is the energy of the cell. And the mitochondria always needs support to balance out the cortisol, to balance out the emotional ups and downs. Even the sadness or the grief or the whatever we might feel for all those who are being incredibly affected by the decisions of this government. I mean, we all are, those of us who don't believe in what's going on, but really those who are suffering even more than each of us. And we do what we can, but it starts with you. It starts with taking care of yourself. Breathe, relax, feel, witness every moment. Allow all that is there to come forward. And then finding a little bit of joy, which can be in that sparkle of gratitude, and bring that sparkle into every cell of your body. So if you could draw it, or you could paint it, or you could build an altar to the sparkle or to the gratitude, what would it look like? If you could write a poem about that sparkling light. See your aura light up so that I am energy, I am light, and I can see and train my brain to see the aura or the light around everything. So just consider that you have that ability. It's just igniting the part of your brain and then strengthening that part of your brain through your imagination. Remembering that imagination is way more important than knowledge. And that was Einstein's words, not mine. And then this morning, going from this gratitude meditation to keeping that in your heart and lighting up your aura, as we do the Satanama meditation. Sa, so the thumb to the pointer finger, the second finger, the third finger, the fifth finger. So you're doing, and it's a breath pattern, and it's a sa, ta, na, ma, 4 times. Sa, ta, na, ma. Birth, life, death, rebirth. Birth, life, death, rebirth. And then take a breath. Then you whisper it. Sa. 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 And then in silence, but move your mouth. Then out loud. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Birth, life, death, rebirth. And then bring the fingertips together and the thumbs to your heart, lighting up the first 5 chakras of the old system. And in this mudra, and just notice all the triangles and remember the flower of life. Remember that that's what you truly are. You're not, you're a sphere of vortices and geometry that's really mathematics that turns into being our vision of light. And then bring the thumbs to the third eye, where you work with imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration. The 4 newer sensory perceptions that include many sensory perceptions within those 4. Imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration. Then tap the top of your head in honor of the number 12 at this point, the soul star chakra, the universe chakra, the galactic chakra, and the divine matrix chakra. And that's in the chakra system here as one chakra, one of the new chakras is below our feet. So it used to start at the feet and go up to the pelvis, but now it's below the feet. And we're moving from a carbon-based being into a crystalline-based being, which is an interesting concept to work with as you also work with the sparkle of light and gratitude. Then bring your hands together at your heart. Take a breath. Namaste first to yourself, where you go, you've taken the time out to do this practice and honor that. And then a namaste for others. Many blessings and love. And then release that and release what we're working with here. And I'm going to come right down to the floor. But releasing my whatever I was working with there, I didn't know what I was going to do. And then down to the floor and pull the knees in and just start to explore. For me, I've had a very active 2 weeks, but I did very little stretching. I did a lot of sitting in a car. So, just see what you need, but pulling the knees in is always a good evaluation of the lower back and the sacroiliac joint. And then bring the head up to the knees and just feeling it. Bring the hands down as far as they'll go. Maybe your hands need to be behind the knees, on top of the knees, into the shins, and maybe you're down at your toes. Make yourself as small as you can. And remember that this also represents the seed, the new seed that you're growing, the new you, which you can grow anytime you do this posture. You can grow in every moment, or you can grow in every day or a month or a year, whatever seed planting you're doing. And then the seeds of change and the strength of that into 5-pointed star, where we send it out. Send out that blessing of the seed into the full flower. I am a flower and I feel fresh. Flower fresh. That's the Thich Nhat Hanh meditation, so we'll work that in today too, perhaps, and bring the feet flat on the floor, and then into fluidity. Drop the knees side to side. Feel what's going on as you do that. You know, feel where your body touches the floor and where it doesn't. Just notice how this is familiar. Then knees come to one side, head goes to the other, and it's the first spinal twist because we're really like wringing out the water, where you know, the water from a wet towel. You know, you could think of it like wringing something out. So twisting and activating the spine in a different way than we necessarily might not do naturally. And just the first one, because we'll do several kinds, and then over to the other side. Head goes opposite, and you're just feeling it. You know, just getting started again. We'll take, you know, we'll go all the way into December as far as you want to go. The date that I put on December was just because a lot of people have a lot of holiday things going on, but we can go further all the way to the new year if you want. And then we'll come to center and bring the hands down by your sides. Then lift the spine. We're just getting the support of the earth to begin. Inhale up and exhale down. Finding your own rhythm. I have this little issue in my throat I'm still evaluating. So you might hear me clear my throat today. Inhale up, exhale down. You know, this is one of the best ways I've found to work with the back body core and get support from the earth at the same time. Then press into the feet. And it's also, when you press into the feet in this bridge posture, the pelvis is off the floor, but everything else except for the lower back, you've got the lower back and the pelvis off the floor, which brings you to the change and the navigating the waters of all different kinds of waters. Just think of a river with rocks or waterfalls, think of lakes, think of the ocean, all the kinds of water we have, and how that is you, and that life is in the waters. And then also the solar plexus connected to the power that really is our aliveness, which is from the sun. And then press into the feet and strengthen the back body core by strengthening the glutes of the gluteus maximus and minimus are both active here, but really working also on that upper leg and just places that you personally are going to feel this. And then hold for a moment and come up to the toes and lift if you want. Then being very conscious of the spine, feeling the support of the earth, knowing that we're working with the watery changes and the different changes of seasons with different forms of water, everything in the pelvis, which is also birthing. So that's, you know, the Sata Namas, it's the birth and the birth of something new. And then it's the power that we need to take that birthing into action, into life. And then lower yourself down slowly and find that lowering down. And what we're doing is birthing a new democracy. So we'll lengthen out the arms and legs, stretch from the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet, and hold your breath. Oh, and that's the new thing that I'm coming to is, what do we want this new democracy to look like? And then relax the arms. And relax. Then hands down by your arms down by your sides. Just feel this posture to feel where does your body touch the floor and where it doesn't. And work with the body as a metaphor, from the toes to the heels, down to the back of the legs, all the way through the body and what it represents. Through the chakra system, you can get that metaphorical understanding. And that's one of the benefits of it, is the metaphors. Then to strengthen the core, because we need incredible strength of power to birth a new democracy, to also birth a new life for ourselves, even to birth a new day. And for each of us, it's a day by day of who are we, what are we working with, what are we bringing forth, what are we merging into or creating. So hands behind the head, and gentle, moderate, or vigorous, first pressing the lower back into the floor, that can be enough. Squeeze at the pelvic floor. Most of us forget about that during our life. And then press into the floor and lift from the shoulders. Exhale as you do. And then decide whether you want to bring the feet off the floor or lengthen the legs out. And exhale. I like to blow it out. It seems like a little bit more strengthening for my core. Breath pattern. It's a little bit like the fire breath. And then hold for a moment. And notice what your body wants to do here to hold. Don't hold the breath. So you go back to the gentle, comfortable breath so that you can know that you can hold a posture, whether it's a posture to get you through the day or the posture to get you through a project, whatever it is, but you don't have to hold your breath. And then pull the knees in. Then our first cross crawl, hands behind the head. Well, the gentlest, not checking in with you about what's really going on for your body, mind, spirit. Here's the gentle. Moderate is elbows. A little bit more vigorous is to lift the feet off the floor. Exhale on each side. And really vigorous is lengthen out one leg. A true test of the core. But don't go too far. And then hold one side, whatever you decide to hold. And then hold the other side. Don't hold your breath, take a breath. And then pull the knees in. Take a deep breath in. And out. And then rolling over to your side, come up into mermaid position. And this is just, I've really come to Vinyasa yoga more than anything because it's kind of a combination of fitness yoga, yoga in motion, and yoga in stillness. I mean, the number of combinations that are out there right now is astounding. So this is playing with this posture. Again, you can do this on a bed or a table. But most of you seem to be on the floor, and I don't see Dar's name up there right now. And so working with the spine in a slightly twisted position. It's not something you do naturally. It's not something we do in our days. Meanwhile, you are strengthening the arms. Inhale and exhale, moving the spine and strengthening the arms. Fists, flat hands, or push-up bars. Change directions with that roll. It just trains the brain, and feel the spine going in the opposite direction. Notice where your body touches the floor as you're moving. And then reach up out of the crown of the head and pause for a moment. So you're kind of in the stillness of a yoga posture. Lift up out of the crown of your head and feel that. Even squeezing at that pelvic floor whenever you remember. And then swing the arm around as you go around, swinging the arm. Getting the spine lubricated, you might say. You really need the movement to lubricate all of the joints. And to also, for the spine, to bring nutrients to the discs. I don't know where I learned that, but that's what I learned. And then go all the way around and hold. And look over that shoulder as far as you can. Keep the eyes open. Remember, we're working with a little bit of the DM, the rapid eye movement type of work where you look and use the eyes all the way around, and then crossing the brain. Remember, all the twisting crosses the brain and works with activating both sides of the brain. And you can stay in this position, then move the eyes to the opposite side, and opposite side, and opposite side. And then hold for a moment in looking around over your shoulder. Don't forget to breathe, a little bit of extra twist perhaps, add a little bit more, and then come back to center. Come down on that elbow and lift the back leg. So this is like a series, the whole series that includes this type of movement. You can come down on the arm, on the elbow, even up onto the hands. Each place that you put your body will change how you use this leg. Now, if you have it in you to put the leg out straight, different, a little bit stronger at the hip joint there. So you're just deciding what's best for your body. And then kick out and back and out, and just notice, what's hard, what's easy, what's making you really work hard. I'm noticing that my knee is clicking. Am I going to worry about it? No, I'm just going to work through it. And then come up, and you're sitting into the front. You can hold yourself up behind you and lift that leg from there. Bending the knee, and you're just lifting and strengthening. Very upper quad. You'll feel it very upper quad there that you're working with. And then lengthen that leg out and stretch it down. So, and this again, you can lean on your leg. You can have your hands on the floor. For those of you that can go to your toe. You can always have a strap handy and use a strap. So what is your way to do this is the question. Notice what's happening on the other side. And just today is just really evaluating what's going on. And then up, bring the soles of the feet together and just put your hands behind you and just see if that works for you. For me, it won't work for me to sit here unless I use a cushion. But right now, I'm just going to keep my hands there while I work on them. Drop the knees side to side, loosening the hips, lubricating the hips. Even with the different things that go on in our pelvis, especially as we get older, the different things I feel, and then over to the other side. Dive into the knee, strengthen the arms. Again, push-up bars are handy for those of us with weak wrists or wrists that have gotten injured over time. Notice the difference you feel on this side. Inhale and exhale. Notice how it's a rocking sort of action here. Then change directions, modifying however you need for all the different possibilities of joints that are irritated. So leading with my chin now instead of the top of my head. And then reach up out of the crown. Feel that little bit of strengthening for the arms and see how it worked for you. And then swing it around. And it's just sort of a little action here. Again, always working with the lubrication, movement, stillness, holding, letting go. What are you working with? What are you bringing forth? What are you moving towards? And then around to hold the posture using the head and neck, looking and the eyes, looking around all the way, then using just the eyes and going one side of the face to the other, looking side to side. And just a few little interesting, take a look at if you can see anything inside your eye that's happening, because I have a lot inside my eyes happening. And then hold for a moment, do a little tiny extra stretch, perhaps just seeing what's there, and then back to the center. Come down on your elbow, lift that back leg, elbow, arm, hands, this makes it harder, coming up on your hands, down on the elbows, moderate, down on your arm is a little easier. And you're lifting, you're strengthening here that hip to the iliotibial band area. And again, you can, point the toe and strengthen it even further, bringing more weight to the leg by lengthening that out, flexing or pointing. And then just range of motion in a different way. Kick forward and back. And then it's sort of natural to then come on up and lift the leg from the front. So strength and stretching, strength and stretch. So we're strengthening, using range of motion. One side will be different than the other. So you're just noticing that too, and how we're not symmetrical. Then lengthen it out, reach up tall as you can, and come down to wherever your body will go with folding forward. Now that other knee, like this is my bad knee. No, I bring the block in. I can leave it up there, and there's a little more weight into that pelvic joint, or I can support it with a cushion or a block. Noticing, what parts of your body are up. What are the best things for you to do, and what are things you should avoid? I found that if I avoided all the places in my body that have issues, then they get worse. So I try to keep, blood flow going, range of motion going. And I surprised myself in these last 2 weeks, where I didn't think I could walk as far as I ended up walking every single day. So I think I attributed it to all the yoga and the dancing. And then loosen up again. And up to our hands and knees. And again, you probably know where we're going, but I could surprise you. So hands and knees. Because what I really want to do today is something we haven't done in a long time, which is the pigeon posture. But first we'll do the ones we do these ones that are kind of like the base of doing all these other possibilities, like the pigeon. And then hold one direction, just feel it, feel the shape. And then hold the other direction and just feel it. And then just see if this will work for you to come back into child. If it doesn't, just come up on your elbows. But if you can fold back, or if you're on the chair, fold over. I still don't really know what you can and cannot do. And then come up and see if you can come into upward dog, just to get our spines. If you're like me, everything's feeling really good. I really want to do this because I haven't done the stretching for a long time, and the strengthening. And then hold for a moment in upward dog, and just see, you're working those arms. Then see if you need to come back to your hands and knees, or you can be here, tuck the toes and push off into downward dog, or you need to come up to your hands and knees at a perpendicular angle and press into the feet. Get the feet and ready to be in a posture that will, you can heel walk and feel the backs of your legs, but first just warm them up a little bit, and then you'll see if you can press one down and stretch it. You might feel a stretch of the bottom of the foot as well, and the other side and stretch. Maybe for some of you, both sides. If it feels like you need a little bit of, head comes further between the arms, and it doesn't work for you to do both feet, just do one at a time. And you're strengthening the arms still, and then forward, and just come up partway first. Maybe ragdoll for some of you, maybe standing forward bend for some of you. And maybe down, then bend the knees a lot, so really bend the knees and almost like you're pouring the upper body in, and bring the arms up. This usually helps with dizziness. And back a little bit in a back bend, and then shake it out. Yay. Okay. So, gratitude, sparkling. There's nothing like the breath of joy. I think it should be taught around the world. It is around the world, but it's just so good. So it is a breath pattern. All these breath patterns are really quite amazing for the systems of the body. You can look up the benefits of each of the breath patterns in a more detailed way. But here we go, you all know it. The ha breath is the one gets out, the stuff you don't want anymore. Last time. And then hook up, whether you're dizzy or not. It's always good to remember that if you ever are dizzy or have nausea or any kind of little disruption that you want to rebalance, this is the rebalancer. Third finger in the belly button, third finger at the third eye. Okay, then standing postures. We're going to do an interesting combination, and this is a lot for the first time back. And I don't know if you're using chairs or whatever. So, but this combination is the half sun salutation into the dancing warrior. I think I'll move back. Oh yeah, you won't see my hands. Okay, all the way back. It's an interesting thing to work on online, where you want to try to be seen. You still want to see the hands. So here we go, hands at the heart. Inhale the hands down and up and back. Exhale, swan dive down, bend the knees. Ragdoll. Inhale, straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down. Hands to the floor for 2 push-up bars, and step the right foot back. And so here you are in lunge. Come down to the knee if you need to. Now you could always come down to the knees, but we're going to go from there, step the left foot back to meet it into plank. And again, you can be on your knees. You're on plank, strong arms, down to the knees, back into child. Exhale. Inhale into upward dog. Exhale. Inhale, tuck the toes behind you. And downward dog. Look at the right foot and see if you can either lift it up
and bring it forward, or just bring it forward, maybe taking your hand and walking yourself forward. Turn the back foot slightly to the side.
And come up into warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. Hands at the heart, hands above the head, hands at the waist, whatever you wanna, however you wanna play. Then straighten the front leg, arms come behind you, look up. And just take a moment there and then look down. Decide if you want your hands down. A little bit more weight of the body goes over the leg or behind your back, a little bit more less and a little bit less down. Then bend the knee and come back to warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. I am here. I am a mountain. And I feel strong, confident. Grounded. And then right hand down, left arm back. And there's a past and a future. And we kind of reflect on the past and live to the future, and we're working with what is this new future? How is it supposed to look? What are we supposed to be doing with ourselves in our own role in the future of whatever? And then look up. You are the sky, everything else is the weather. You are the ocean, everything else is the wave. Then look to the side, get a new perspective. Lateral angle, elbow down, arm over, hand on your waist, whatever you want. Get down to the floor, also lateral angle. And back up. And back to center. Step forward. You might need to shake out the arms. Step the other foot back. Left foot back. And you bend the right foot back, bend the left knee, I'm sorry, and opposite side. Wait a minute, did I already do this? No, right, this is the right way, okay. So here we are, again, I'm a mountain. What mountain are you? I like to think of Mount Hood since it's so visible to me. But when I was in Corvallis, I thought of Bears Peak. That was visible to me. Straighten the front leg, arms behind you. Don't forget to breathe.
You can look up, you can look down, you can put your hands down, you can have blocks, you can have a chair. Stretch the back of the leg there, and then bend the knee and back up.
Left hand down. Past, present, and future all happening at the same time. And you're standing in the center, then look up. You know where you are, the sky. Oh, and we really are guided by the sun. And lots of stuff, lots has happened on that sun right now. If you feel the energetics and know the science, over to the side, get a new perspective. What does each side represent? Back up. Breath. Back to the center. This time, coming back to center, 5-pointed star. Dropping the arms down,
getting a new perspective, the upside down perspective. You can bend the knees or keep them straight. You can play with this a little bit. You can, if your hands, or you can have a block, and you can go side to side. Fingertips can be together. Some people can get their elbows to the floor. If I can, maybe almost. But it's a little bit of an inner thigh stretch, so then hold one side and you can have your hand right on your knee. You don't have to have your hands down to the floor. And stretch that that inner thigh, and feel what's going on there. And then to the other side. Breathing. Just know that the muscles want to be stretched. all of the muscles want to be like reminded how to be a little bit longer. They usually shorten without us working them. And then back to center, just take another look upside down. Bring yourself up, 5-pointed star. Step the feet together. Mountain. I'm a mountain. Then a moment of I am a mountain, feet on the floor, come up heel to toe, heel to toe. And you know, the mountain posture in yoga is always like, I am 2 feet on the ground. Knees, if you look at the knees and bend them all the way, you'll see that you're covering the second toe. The big toe is usually, that's when you know I've got a fist between my knees. You can do knees together too, but you want to like look down and see, am I in alignment? I like about a fist apart. Then inhale the arms up and ride the wave. As you know, we have to ride the wave. No. It's like ride the wave of whatever's going on. So ride the wave and feel the fluidity, but feel the strength in the lower body. Then hands to the heart and look to the side. I'm going to right elbow towards left side. And you could, if you can, you go even further. Spinal twist. You can put the elbow on the knee. You can have your hand on a chair, blocks, or hand on the floor, and open up the shoulder. Some people can turn their head and look at their arm. That wouldn't be me. And then back up. Not going to stay there very long. Back down. Twist the other side. Look to the side. I'm placing my hands right together. It forms a nice triangle there for good support. My elbows on the knee. There's a lot of triangles in the body here. And then decide, do you put your hand down and up? Do you put it on a chair or a block? And do you look to the side? Do you put your hand back on your waist or behind your back even? So you've got a lot of options. There's always options of where to put anything. And then any part of your body, that is. And then I see we've got only 8 minutes left. So going into balance. First, a little bit of cross control. That will always help you balance. So we're just marching. And you can go higher if you want. And you can make it fitness oriented. Fitness yoga. There's yoga of every kind. And then just find your toes. Toe balance. Yeah, even wobbly there. Yeah, I went up too high. I'm on a mat. It's kind of the mat and the rug together are really a challenge. Then get into one foot. This one's not as much of a challenge because there's really triangle down at the bottom of the feet there that are holding me up. But when I focus attention, concentration on one spot, not moving, I can bring my foot up a little bit and just take a couple breaths there. Wobbly foot. Then down on that side, get into the other leg. The toe, this is the tree posture. We learn a lot from trees. You might want to look that one up, advice from a tree. And then focus, attention, concentration is the key to balance. Body, mind, spirit. And then let that go. There are a lot of balancing postures. The ones we've really looked at are the tree. And then the other one is the dancer. I'm going to get off my mat for a moment to do that. Maybe I can do it here. And this one is the one where you bring your leg up at 90 degrees if you can. Focus attention, concentration, bring your arms up, the fingertips together, drop the shoulders up, back and down, and pulling at the belly button. You're going to work that core here to do the balance. And that's one of the keys to balance is that strong core. If you want fitness yoga, you can lift that leg and strengthen the quad, flex the foot.
And let it go. And then other side, getting to the other side. And find your focus, attention, concentration. Decide what you want here. Notice the arm strengthening you're doing as well. And let it go. Shake it out. Shake it all out. And inhale up. And exhale. Drop the chin to the chest. We're going to come back down. Drop the chin to the chest. And just feel the first movement here, and then slowly lower yourself down. Breathing. Step yourself back. Maybe a few more stretches of the backs of the legs. Down into the knees. And then lengthen out into pressing the arms out into Sphinx. Another little back bend. Different kind. You can feel the weight of the body on the floor here. Let's feel that. Then all the way down to cerebral spinal fluid balancer, which very few people know about. So balancing and just thinking of your cerebral spinal fluid, really look it up if you haven't, so you get an image of it, so you can imagine it. And you might be able to read about the benefit of understanding it. And then slow that down. And come over to one side and stretch the quad. So I'm holding my hand up with my head with my hand. We're going to stretch that quad because we strengthened it so much. We want to stretch it. Now you can do this standing. You can do it as the other dancer balancing posture. And then to the other side, stretch the quad. And just feel how tight it is. You might want to work with this during the day or during the week. Breathing, relaxing, feeling, witnessing. And then let it go. This time come to your back. And decide what you want to do for either a last posture or just Shavasana. Now, if I was just going to do Shavasana, I would take my cushion and put it right underneath my knees and just be in Shavasana and take something to cover my eyes, like my strap. I want to use this time to work with this reclined goddess. Still going to bring my strap forward. And I'm going to bring my blocks where my legs can rest and open up the inner thighs and stretch that really upper. And then just take a moment here or in Shavasana to ground into the earth. It's nice contemplation to go, I am the earth and I feel. I am the sun and I feel. I am the trees and I feel. So it's an interesting contemplation of how you can relate your body to all of nature, because that is who you are. I am all of nature and I feel. And then take a moment to honor the power of the sun which is up right now with some extreme solar flares. And so if you feel a little energetically disrupted, it could be that. So you just have to remember that we're not separate from the sun. It is our source of life. And things that go on in our solar system, also, we're not separate from it. So it may somehow affect us without us being aware of it. Sure, you know that you don't have to come back to the screen, that you can just be in Shavasana if that's what your body needs. I didn't leave us a whole lot of time for this. So, so just stay right where you are. No need to come back or shake your world too much, too fast. To my side and come into the fetal posture and feel the body settle. And then up into mermaid position and just feel the body settle. Recognizing that gravity is a big part of feeling the body settle into different shapes. Then coming to hands and knees, and again, feel the shift in gravity. Honor the four-legged. Honoring the two-legged, especially the birds. And coming center. And again, hands together at the heart. Namaste. I see you, I know you, you're a part of me. I am you, you are me, we are one. And all is one. And then I'll come back and